Welcome. My name is Guido Falkenberg and I'm the Head of Product Management for Adabas and Natural and our mainframe and legacy integration products. It's a pleasure for me today to talk to you, even if I would like to be on-site talking to you face-to-face, but here in a new online fashion, and to give you some information about new product features, new capabilities, new products, and roadmap information that you can expect from us. I need to make a short remark on a short disclaimer that the information I'm giving to you on the roadmaps might be a matter of change. So the Adabas Natural 2050 strategy is still relevant for many of our customers. If I'm listening to customers like you and talking to them, the challenges are still the same. The challenges are around cost, the challenges are around skill retirements, the challenges are around siloed applications and how do I connect to business logic and data. And the challenges are how do I turn the Adabas Natural application into such a system that it works seamlessly with the new technologies around cloud, API management, or data analytics. So let me talk about the IT infrastructure topics first. We as Software AG and as Adabas Natural Business Unit, we have made a strategic decision to focus our investment on the two platforms that we believe gives you the maximum of innovation into the future. That means on the IBM z/OS platform, on the mainframe, as well as on Linux. But we also believe the cloud hyperscalers will become and play a more and more important role in context of running your applications. So therefore, we are providing you two alternatives. You either can run your Adabas Natural applications in the cloud, or you can continue to run your Adabas Natural application on premises. That means you are creating a kind of a hybrid cloud environment, connecting to cloud services. If your Adabas Natural application runs on what we call legacy environments on the mainframe or on legacy Unix environments, then you should consider doing a rehosting. We have more than 100 customers who successfully did rehosting, and we are happy to talk to you about this step. So let me talk about the mainframe and modernizing the Adabas Natural applications on the mainframe first. 50 customers, more than 50 customers around the world are leveraging our zip offloading capabilities, giving you as the customer the risk-free approach to seamlessly reduce your IT operation costs on the mainframe by moving Adabas and Natural workload, online and batch workload, onto a zip processor from a general processor. And over the years, we continuously innovated to move more workload onto a zip processor, starting with Natural Batch online into Adabas and utilities and add-on products. And with the April release also that we have a zip enablement role server manager for Natural under complete. Customers who are using this kind of zip offloading technology do not immediately save money, but they increase the CPU capacity and they are improving the price-performance ratio by providing IT services to your business, because the processing will cost you less than running it on a general purpose processor. If you plan to move to the cloud, we have a clear cloud transformation journey with Adabas Natural. Adabas Natural can run on Linux on premises today, and many of you are running it on premises today. If Adabas Natural is on Linux, it provides you a seamlessly first step by selecting your cloud vendor who are providing a Linux or virtual machine environment onto a cloud infrastructure. That can be Azure, AWS, or the Google Cloud Platform. Your application does not need to be changed. You can take it as is and deploy it on one of these cloud infrastructures. Once it is in the cloud, you can start re-architecting and modernizing the application. From an IT infrastructure point of view, for example, leveraging distributed architectures with container and Kubernetes, or extending and modernizing the way on how your application is exposed to your end users, using web and mobile front ends, or connecting to SaaS applications, or leveraging analytical capabilities or databases that are sitting in the cloud. So here you can leverage everything that your cloud hyperscalers are providing as a cloud service. Developing natural database applications, it doesn't matter if it's sitting on the mainframe or if it sits on a Linux or in a cloud environment. Our key development environment here is Natural One. And with Natural One, we continuously also to listening to your requirements and delivering new features to you like this one. We will simplify the unit testing, reducing or eliminating the necessity to run Eclipse for it. We simplify the distribution of Natural One installations using zip file deployments, improving the performance of the Natural One Navigator, specifically if you work with large number of natural objects or having objects with a huge number lines of code, and simplify the way on how you do the DDM handling, the data browsing, and we enhance also the capabilities around the debugging. And for those of you who like to be in the dark, we are now providing the Natural One dark mode. As I mentioned in our AWS Natural 2050 Plus strategy, there are a number of requests we are getting to, that has to do with sensitive data. If you ask yourself the question, what kind of sensitive data is being stored in my database, and what would it mean if someone would maliciously attack, steal the data? And stealing the data can come from inside people as well as from people from the outside. In order to help you protecting your sensitive data, we are releasing 3 new products. 2 on the mainframe and 1 on Linux. For data encryption, that means you encrypt your sensitive data that AWS is storing, for example, in containers. We have the Adabas encryption for ZOS and the Adabas encryption for Linux. If you want to track and report all the database operations that someone is doing with your Adabas data or the database, then we have a product here called Database Auditing for ZOS. So let me talk about these 2 products and give you more information about them. Adabas Auditing for ZOS is an end-to-end solution. So that means it collects all the data, all the events, all the operations that are sitting in your Adabas database. It can store, secure, archive, and analyze the data, but also can create audit reports. And you might have different requirements coming from auditors, from security officers, or even from your DBAs, where you have to be flexible and fast to customize and deliver auditing reports quickly. Adabas Auditing for ZOS is made for that purpose. And let me explain to you how it works. It doesn't matter if you have a natural application, a COBOL application, a utility that is accessing your Adabas data, all the Adabas operations can be tracked and audited. The ones who have of most interest can be configured by you. That means you do not need to track everything or collect and audit everything. You are in full control what kind of events, what kind of databases you want to audit. And once the event data is being collected, it can be securely archived and stored. And we helped you then to providing you with search and analyzing capabilities and with a web browser user interface to access this auditing data. We are leveraging to a maximum the capabilities of the IBM Z mainframe because we believe it's the strongest platform to handle sensitive data, not only transactional sensitive data, but also sensitive auditing data. In order to protect you or to protect your sensitive data that is stored in a database like in data, ISO, work, or plogs, we have launched a new product called Database Encryption for ZOS. This product encrypts data that is sitting on these Adabas containers that I've mentioned, datasets I've mentioned before. We call this data at rest. And the way on how we encrypt the data, we are making use of new technologies that IBM is delivering around the IBM Z hardware and the IBM pervasive encryption. This is high-speed, highly advanced encryption technology with a key management technology complemented to it. And we make use of that so that we can seamlessly encrypt your data without having you to make any changes to the application. In addition to that, we continuously offering also to you encryption on flight with our entire network capabilities. We are providing a similar product, database encryption for Linux. The difference here is that the encryption and the key management is not hardware supported. It's using standards, it's using software-based technologies to encrypt the data. You can see here we are encrypting Adabas data and ASO data at rest, and we also leveraging I would say mainstream technologies like TLS, SSL, OpenSSL via ADA TCP in order to also encrypt data in flight. A new product that we are planning to have general available next year, and we hope to have a first customer shipment version available this year, is Adabas Cluster on Linux. For those of you who want to further enhance the high availability of your database running on a Linux environment, this is the right product to use for. Here, the product is using a software-based cluster technology supporting a multi-node architecture to replicate your data that in case of a hardware crash or a failure, your data is still being available. And this design of the cluster solution here is taking into consideration that Adabas Linux can run on-premise, in virtual machine, or in container, or even in cloud environments, without having you to make any change on your applications. So that replicated, distributed Adabas database environment appears as a single database. We will continuously to innovate also our Adabas Manager, our modern way on how to manage distributed complex database environments. Not only for the Linux environments, but also we continuously enhancing these capabilities supporting database on ZOS. We believe this is the way to go for you to also attract new talents, to make your life as a DBA easier to manage high distributed architectures. As you can see here, if you have a highly distributed anti-network environment sitting on various platforms, that's not an easy job, but we try to give you as much as simplicity and web-based tools as possible to make that happen. We are also leveraging these capabilities for our new products like database auditing for COS. So let's talk about API enablement and data integration. You know, Natural can be an API provider or Natural can be an API consumer. And here we're leveraging NTX and AppLinks on the way on how you're connecting into your coded business logic, either through a Natural subprogram, RPC level, or on a end user screen level. For data integration, we are providing you 3 ways on how to connect and exchange and share the Adabas data by providing real-time data replication. So that means in case of an event, a change in the Adabas data that is being pushed out to another database or into an event stream or into a messaging system. You can also use data synchronization and ETL or ELT processes, providing, for example, or leveraging our Connex data sync capabilities. And that can move data in or out of database. So you are very flexible. It doesn't matter where the database data needs to go to. You have full control and full flexibility. And with Connex and providing more than 150 data adapters, you have the full choice and flexibility where that data can go to. and also supporting new capabilities and databases like in the cloud. And if you just want to access the Adabas data using SQL in a read or write sequence, or you want to virtualize various data sources, including Adabase, then you are also using the Adabas SQL Gateway, including the ConnexDB adapters. So let me talk about a few innovations around this. First of all, with app links, we are providing you enhanced capabilities with the new versions being released in April around opening up your screen flows as a REST API to make it easier to connect and integrate in your own web responsive framework. Could be Angular, React, or Vue. We decided that we become independent here and giving you the maximum flexibility to develop new applications, accessing these end-user screen flows as a REST API. We improved NTIX, the way on how NTIX integrates not only into your natural application, but also, for example, into your COBOL applications, supporting advanced ways on how to generate REST API assets, but also to follow new FIP standard capabilities. For those customers who want to leverage their natural knowledge, their natural application developers, we also continuously enhance Natural for Ajax. That makes it very easy for you without the need of having any other developer available to develop your own web responsive user interfaces. And here we are continuously enhancing these capabilities of responsive web controls that you can leverage. And also we have simplified the way on how Natural for Ajax is integrated with Natural One. With Applinks, we also have made additional enhancement because Applinks can also be used as a web terminal emulation. It's an alternative. Rather than installing a web terminal emulation on your desktop, you can just opening up a web browser, and Applinks helps you to easily access your mainframe application through a web browser or through a web terminal emulation. Here we have added new capabilities around type ahead capabilities and a new printer API. So as you can see, it doesn't matter which user modernization approach, end user interface modernization approach you are taking, we are innovating on all levels. And we are innovating also on data integration. For example, I talked about the Adabas SQL Gateway that has now advanced capabilities for tracking SQL operations. Or we talked about data virtualization, and we have added new adapters. So the real groundbreaking technology in context of data warehouses is a company called Snowflake out of the United States. We have a connector that easily connects now your Adabase data with Snowflake running in a cloud environment. We simplified the way on how you work with Connex Data Sync, our ETL and ELT product for data synchronization. As you can see here on the right-hand side, it's very easy now to define your data integration scenarios, to monitor it, to track it, to deep dive into it. And that gives you a flavor how the Connex web user interface will be continuously to be modernized. But we will also continuously enhance our capabilities around data replication, not only for Adabase on Linux, Unix, and Windows, but also for the Adabase on the ZOS environment, providing new target adapters, new capabilities. For example, also replicating data not only from Adabase to Adabase, but also into our web methods integration server, so that you have then full capabilities where this data should go to. And we have continuously also enhanced our capabilities around product trainings. You know, and I think I've shared this one with you last year, we have free how-to tutorials and videos on YouTube, but we also introduced our self-learning, self-paced e-learning capabilities, where a constructor is providing trainings for you that you or your employees can then run in your own self-paced way on how to learn what Adabase and Natural is. And we continuously also enhance our capabilities around the certification and product trainings. What is best for you? I think there's a lot in here, but I would strongly recommend maybe to reach out to one of your Software AG representatives to figure out what are your needs in context of generational change, of skill retirements, of passing on knowledge from one person to another, and how we as Software AG can help you design the best curriculum for your organization. And I want to give you a preview what you can expect coming in October this year. There will be more information, so please hold on. We will share that one also early this year. But I want to give you some insights here. We will enhance the capabilities of offloading for Adabas onto a zip processor. We're continuously optimizing the encryption capabilities as well as our replication capabilities. Because the world out there is constantly changing where data needs to go to. Sometimes it's a cloud database, a cloud data warehouse, a data lake. So that world is constantly changing, and we said we want to figure out something where it's easier for you to connect to these different data platforms. On natural, we're definitely focusing also on performance, like the buffer pool, 64-bit support, the zip offloading, a new natural optimizer compiler leveraging the new capabilities of your IBM Z infrastructure. And we will definitely also continuously working on to simplify the installation fixes and upgrade processes. If we take a look on Adabas Natural on Linux and cloud, you see here that high availability, security, two key aspects also in the cloud infrastructure environment are on the top of our roadmap priorities, in addition to performance. We believe the capabilities on Linux should achieve a similar excellence that we currently have on the mainframe. It's already there, but if you're coming from the mainframe, you might miss this one feature here or the other feature here. But I can tell you, Adabas and Natural, as of today, is capable of handling high workload. And these things that we are doing here is going a step further. Also handling heavy workloads in a Linux or distributed cloud environment. And we will continuously also improving Natural One and Natural for Ajax to make it the life for your application developers more easy. But not only for those, but also for those who need to install, upgrade, or deploy these capabilities. Specifically also in secure environments. So we are also talking about multi-factor authentication, not only on the mainframe, but also on a Linux environment. So let's talk about mainframe integration in a broader sense. I've mentioned to you that Software AG is very strong in connecting Adabas Natural, but something that most people do not know, that Software AG is also strong integrating the IBM mainframe beyond Adabas Natural. So we talk about COBOL, we talk about assembler, we talk about PL1, we talk about DB2, VSAM, IMS. All of these different levels integrating with the mainframe is being supported today by our Software AG products, AppLinks, EnterX, and Connex. And we as Software AG, we have made a strategic decision to say, okay, we want to become the best. We believe we are already the best, but we want to become even better to connect your IBM mainframe with new technologies. It doesn't matter if it's a cloud environment, an API environment, mobile devices, multi-channel architectures, data analytics. This is where we want to help you moving your mainframe into the future. And the way how we do it is plentiful. I've here a list of 9 different use cases to explain you how you can connect the mainframe with new technologies. I don't want to run through all of these in detail, but it has to do with data access, data virtualization, data movement, data synchronization, data consolidation, turning the mainframe into an API provider, or taking the mainframe into an API consumer. And here we are using different kind of capabilities and technologies around Connex for data integration, app links for screen level integration, and NX for coded program level integration into these aspects. Yeah. So there is nothing in here, we believe, that goes beyond your requirements. So if you run COBOL, if you run PL1, if you run Assembler, VSOM, DB2, IMS, and you need to connect this data into the world of clouds, of API, of data analytics, we have a solution for you. And I want to share with you 3 customer success stories around this. Yeah. One of our recent customer success stories in the United States is a huge government agency who runs pretty much one of the largest mainframe installations in the United States around federal government. And they looked for an easy way, a low-code, no-code mainframe modernization platform to connect to their API platform, including end-to-end security. And that is fully aligned with the agency's on-premise as well hybrid cloud IT strategy. And here we could help the customer connecting API enabling the mainframe on the screen level, on the COBOL level, using COBOL running on Kix and on Batch, and connecting to databases with SQL and data virtualization to DB2, VSOM, or QSOM. Another example is a European bank that has the necessity to move mainframe data in real time to their mobile app platform, because the mobile app platform provided banking features on their mobile phone to their customers. And they said the mainframe needs to stay as the single source of these systems, but the mobile app platform needs to provide 24/7 more advanced capabilities to provide this data to 10,000 of users who are using the mobile banking app. And here we do not only help the customer replicating the data to the mobile platform from the mainframe, but also opening up the mainframe as an API provider, because in case the customer also wants to do a transaction, that transaction needs to turn out into an update on the mainframe. Or another example, a customer running COBOL applications has decided to introduce SAP. And here the big question is, how could they integrate their COBOL as well as their natural environment using an API-oriented architecture approach to integrate these applications with a SAP platform? So these are just 3 examples to give you some understanding what role Software AG's mainframe integration technology beyond database and natural can play for your business. And I want to summarize this, what we call, this is API-led integration or API-centric integration. We believe APIs are the way going forward, connecting to your internal systems, to your external systems, connecting into the cloud, connecting into multi-channel architectures, or even consuming APIs that are being provided by your business partners, by someone externally, by cloud service providers. We as Software AG, with our market-leading webmessage platform, can not only provide you the API management platform, but we can also provide you all the connectivity that can connect into the mainframe application and the data landscape that you have in place. And that's unique. No one can do this in the same simplicity, in the same capability as Software AG. And if you're interested in that, even if you run only AWS Natural, but maybe you have other colleagues, other departments, other partners who have the challenge also to connect into the broader world of mainframe applications and legacy data, then you should take this into consideration. By saying that, I'm happy to share all of that information with you, and there is more information to come in the next several months, approaching our next release. So you can now, using the Q&A chat, you can talk to your colleagues on site. You can send emails, you can ask questions, but I'm more interested in that what I have shown to you should be leveraged in your environment, because we believe bringing your Adabas Natural application, bringing your mainframe applications forward is the fastest, the most secure and reliable way to innovate your business faster. Thank you for listening.